Hello, everyone. Tonight we are having our Grad Talks from Brussels. Our guest is Head of Production Engineering Innovation, Toyota Motor Europe, Tuğser SARIÜNAL. Thank you, Tuğser, for accepting our invitation. Tuğser, can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay. I will make a brief introduction. I guess you will give us information about your background as well. After graduation from having bachelor degree from Istanbul Technical University, Control and Computer Engineering, Tuğser had his graduate studies in Japan on robotics engineering from Tsukuba University. And after that, he has an 18 year of technical and managerial experience in automotive industry, 15 years of hands-on lean production experience and management experience. And his specialties are Toyota production system, total productive maintenance, lean manufacturing, Kaizen and Pokayake implementation, Hoshin and problem-solving cycle, GIT, Jidoka, Heijunka, 3M, Muda, Muri, Mura. These are all Japanese terminology, and I guess widely used in automotive industry, I guess. And plant cost management from planning stage to follow up. Without further introduction, I would like to give microphone to Tuğser SARIÜNAL from Brussels. Okay, Tuğser, we are with you. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Murat Bey, for this opportunity. So I think everybody can see my screen as a title is Future of Automotive Industry. But today I don't want to limit only future of automotive. We are with our, let's say, colleagues, friends from maybe similar industry or similar background. I would like to also answer any question in their mind about my career or anything about the automotive. So let me go briefly about this this presentation. So at first I will make a quick introduction of myself, then Toyota Europe, future mobility, and Industry 4.0 and challenge in automotive, and finally I will conclude with question and answers. So as Murat Bey briefly mentioned, I was graduated on 1998 in Control Computer Engineering, Department of Control Engineering. I had enthusiastic in study in robotics. Therefore, I wanted to take some opportunity with getting a scholarship to Japan. So I stayed there in the University of Tsukuba for 2.5 years and take my master course about mobile robotics. The theme was about the one-wheel robots, mobile robots. I developed some algorithm and hardware for adaptive control. And after this university experience, I jumped to professional world, starting with robotics as a robotics engineer in ABB Japan. So I stayed there around 3.5 years, and after late 2005, I came back to Turkey. So, and I returned back actually Toyota Motor manufacturing Turkey, because during the university, I was an intern there already. I had some network, and I started to work as a paint shop production and maintenance engineer. And finally, I concluded my career. Actually, I'm part of that organization also still. And I came to Brussels late 19th. And last around 3 years, I'm here as the head of production, engineering, and innovation group. So what do we do in Toyota Motor Europe? So you may know from any internet sources, Toyota has the regional headquarters in different areas, like such as we have in North America, Europe, Asia, especially in China market is a huge for us. And our main headquarters is in Japan. TMC, we call Toyota Motor Corporation. So we are actually a kind of like one of the smallest group in Europe in the sales because of the tough market in Europe. However, we have around like more than 6% of market share in Europe. So what we do, since I am from production, okay, I'm working for Toyota, but I'm more engineering background and I'm from Toyota Motor Manufacturing Turkey initially. So we are working very closely with the production plants. So in total, we have 9 manufacturing plants in 7 countries. As you can see here, we have some abbreviations like smalls like UK, France, Portugal, Czech Republic, Poland. We have 2 engine plants and also Russia, as well as Turkey. So we are proud of being Turk, and also in this organization, we are doing very good, especially considering our Atapazarı plant. Compared to within these manufacturing plants, we are manufacturing, CHR and Corolla, and we have the second highest production volume after TMMF. TMMF is manufacturing Yaris, and Yaris is one of the high-selling cars in Europe for the small segment market. So when we jump into the history of Toyota, because this is going to be linked for the future of the automotive industry. It started first in Europe, distribution around 60s. So after 20, we had an acceleration of model introduction. And starting from like late 2018s and 19s, we introduced hybrid vehicles. And as of today, we have been delivering to the market several hybrid vehicles, as you can see in the roads on Turkey. So then what will be the automotive sector and how it's going to be evolved in the future? So as all you maybe watch from the media, we are in a transition period of electrification of all the vehicles. The costs are going to be extremely high. And the vehicle weight is going to be maybe even double because of the structure of this underbody and all the electrified, especially like battery point of view, electrified portions. Even though we have a small motor, but the weight of the vehicle is going to increase. And we have a lot of challenges, especially reducing the weight and making more stable and more safe cars, considering the clean environment. So as Toyota, we have in different type of like engine portfolio, starting from the most clean energy fuel cell cars, which we have the brand for Toyota is Mirai, and we have currently very well known hybrid electric cars. And recently we will start productions in the plug-in hybrid electric, which means that you can both use your hybrid vehicle, enjoy the gasoline to be safe, but also you can reduce your running cost by charging your vehicle. And our aim is after 25, we will have a strict preparation for the battery electrical vehicle, which will be the trend for all in Europe. So let me share one video about this. So our, maybe you again heard from the media, we have the new portfolio of cars we call BZ, Toyota BZ. BZ stands for Beyond Zero. So let us explain about this.
For Toyota, zero isn't the destination. It's another step in the journey. A journey to electrification leadership, which began more than 20 years ago with hybrid. A journey that takes in everything from cars to hydrogen boats and electric mobility solutions. A journey that cares for every individual's movement, regardless of ability or age. A journey creating memorable customer experiences in which the vehicles are safe and intelligent. A journey that contributes to a better society by leaving only water behind and clean air ahead, until moving isn't just zero impact, actually does the world good. Toyota, let's go beyond zero.
Actually, here we just point out the beyond zero because we want to eliminate all this negative impact to environment through electrification. But there is another key message here, maybe from the video you may recognize. Toyota is last year started to announce that, okay, we are until now automotive company, we were an automotive company, but from now on we want to switch our business to mobility company. So which means that we are not going to only manufacture just conventional cars or vehicles, but we are going to provide service to our users, customers, to make them more mobile. This can be any mobile thing, taking one person to one place, from one place to another, considering their happiness, because mobility for all and mobility for happiness for everybody is our one of the motto. So if we consider this, how we say, motto and future, so on this slide, we'd like to give a kind of like what will be the future mobility, what will be the critical characteristics. First of all, for us, for automotive manufacturers, there will be low volume compared to current manufacturing. For example, we will have some helicopter type of maybe vehicles, or maybe this kind of like self-automated vehicles, autonomous vehicles, which will be in volume compared to current mass production, they will be very low. And this means that the cost is going to increase. And the high product diversity, as indicated here, and also in the video you can see, different type of needs, different type of mobility. So then we have to make different type of design and different type of like project investment. And also, not only mobility sector, but also IT sector, and also parallel to that, a lot of different technologies are coming every day. We need to make rapid evolution and for this different type of unfamiliar markets, and we need to check for the new players, unconventional competition, and we need to think about the physical product, how the physical product will be. So this is one of the key challenges for us as automotive for the future. And how we shall prepare for the future, for the new mobility in engineering point of view. As I mentioned previously, we have to reduce our investment in the plants, like managing the cost and time scale of the projects. We have to think about automation processes without tooling and reducing the tooling. Additive manufacturing, you may very well know about the 3D printing is widely used, and also in automotive it's going to be used soon. So some digital engineering, we make simulation, use simulation environment to design our vehicle, also design our process. This will be a kind of standard tool for the future. And also holistic engineering and design, material and process is going to be changed. So the new products also with the unique design and requirements will be different. So we need to reskill and increase the awareness, need to look further for new inspiration and not traditional competitors. So as these are the challenges, so how we should continue our business in the market as automotive, which we are currently working on. Therefore, for the technology, since changing day by day, we want to focus on new methods to improve our productivity and also improve our existence in the market. So then we think that Industry 4.0 should be the tool that we have to, I think, tackle. So let me briefly explain you about the link between Industry 4.0 and automotive, how we can take this more effectively. As you may know, Oh, by the way, sorry. Before starting here, because I'm going to explain you more about the manufacturing technologies and Industry 4.0 from now on. Do you have any questions about the presentation so far regarding the Toyota concept, future mobility? Because I am more on the production side, that I would like to share my experience from that portion.
We didn't want to interrupt the presentation. Maybe at the end we will have the collective questions. Okay?
Okay, it's okay for me. No problem.
Okay, go
yes.
ahead.
Okay. Then Industry 4.0. Some of you know about the concept. What's Industry 4.0? It's actually evolution of the industry starting with the steam power in 1780s. So as of today and tomorrow, we are in the world of Industry 4.0. What is different between all these spheres are actually being the energy, the driving power is changing. First, we started with steam, then electricity and more IT and electronics. And now we are actually more talking about the data. And we are more information intensive manufacturing focusing. And we have more connected environments. And we have more assets in the industry which are connected to each other and sharing information. And also, we realize smart industry and ecosystem for industry innovation. So this is one of the diagrams from Henning von Schiele. He is the founder of Industry 4.0. He identified around 11 pillars under this. Sorry, more than this. I think it's 17 something pillars under this Industry 4.0. As you can see, the speed of innovation after 2013, with the Industry 4.0, it's exponentially increasing. And maybe some later time, we will not be able to catch the technology. It's very difficult. Therefore, we just focus on, as much as possible, how we can utilize these new technologies in the market and how we can enjoy the benefit of these technologies. So, as in automotive production, let me explain about our needs before going for the technologies which we are using. First of all, in production, we need to make a kind of productivity, flexibility, quality, and speed, which are the four main pillars for us. In productivity, we want to improve the working environment by reducing the production time, better equipment assets, or well-managed inventory. For flexibility, we want to achieve intelligent machines and robots and execute production steps for large number of products, because the volume is demanding, is changing every day with the demands of the customer. Therefore, we have to be flexible to this demand. And for quality, we need to improve the quality because of the customer satisfaction. And we have to do this with intelligence, maybe sensors, actuators, real-time monitoring, quickly intervene in case of errors. And last but not the least is the speed, which we want to increase the speed, utilize consistent data and new simulation tools. So in Toyota, especially for starting from the production, we have been using digital tools such as VR, AR for the maintenance and also project management tools for the productivity improvements. For the flexibility, we are focusing on additive manufacturing, spare parts of the vehicle, making and equipment spare parts and die engineering for the vehicle. For the quality pillar, we make inspection with intelligent robots and some camera, real-time feedbacks, advanced sensors we are using. And also for the speed point of view, R&D lead time minimization by digital twin is one of the pillars which we are focusing. So in general, these red portions, Internet of Things, autonomous systems, cybersecurity, smart automation, 3D printing, future energy, advanced material, AR, AI, and advanced analytics are the main pillars of Industry 4.0, which we are tackling in Toyota. So I would just give some specific example after the introduction about the Internet of Things. What we do, there are three major examples. Before making any failure or quality issue, we want to model and track the process by connectivity. This is a connectivity model we use in the shop floor, starting from the equipment up to learning. So we connect the equipment, store the data, make visualization and data engineering, try to understand and predict the equipment failure, predict the quality performance of the process. So this is one of the major activities which we are challenging as IoT in shop floor. So one of the other is we are working for the intelligent sensors such as wireless sensors. We are aggregating data from the shop floor and checking all the markets in Europe, what kind of technologies are there, and sharing among our plants. We try to find long-term usability and sustainable equipment for monitoring. And also for the defect recognition by intelligent sensors is one of the pillars that we are working. As Toyota, you may know, we have JIDOKA principle. So if we find a defect during the application, we can immediately stop the line. This kind of sensors help us to improve our TPS condition. One of the other items about the smart automation, I can give example. So defective product should be detected before it is produced. Therefore, we make real-time analysis of process parameters and make predictions, such as, for example, press parts cracking issues. And also, we want to reduce the impact of environment, especially for the paint side. We want to use less material, more environmental friendly equipment, and no masking during the paint, for example, or material consumption reduction with intelligent overspray painting technology, which we are making some trials with the makers in Europe and Japan. And also, as automation is increasing day by day in the plant, we are still using manual manpower. One example is from the inspection of the whole vehicle surface. So we want to completely eliminate this by an automated inspection through a vision system, which is a first runner in Europe plants also. Last one, I'd like to give an example about 3D printing and advanced analytics. As you may know, very well know about the 3D printers, such as like plastic-based type of 3D printers. However, in automotive, we are more focusing on metal 3D printing in low-cost conditions. So we are working on manufacturing jigs and tools manufacturing to improve the efficiency and cost with especially German manufacturers. This is one example from the unit plant as a casting machine part we injected. One of them is about the flexible molding. As you may recognize, with the future mobility, the vehicle surface will not be metal. It's more lighter. It's more maybe close to plastic or composite material. Therefore, in that case, with low volume, we have to consider about making new tools. And these kind of programmable tools will help us to make a cost-effective vehicle. And the last one is about the simulation of different type of processes, such as like vehicle coating by deep tank, vehicle coating by spray. We want to optimize the parameters to achieve quality and cost reduction. So these are the examples that I'd like to share about Industry 4.0 and also automotive. If you have any questions, I would like to answer either from technology or about Toyota.
Thank you very much, Tuğser. Okay, if you have any questions and comments, we may have them. And I didn't know that electric cars are that much heavy. You said it like twice much
Yes, it's more
heavy as the normal car.
It's around like for example, we had an example for BMW, 2.5 tons, something like that.
Wow.
It's huge. If you consider the range, it's getting higher. And then maybe it's even easy to recognize from Tesla. When you see a Tesla, you can see the wheel size is huge, so as to just stop that acceleration, a huge volume. So it's really heavy compared to others.
Okay, thank you. Okay, do we have any questions and comments about mobility? I don't.
Dr. Murat, I may have one.
Yes, please, Nezih Hocam.
Okay, thank you. First of all, thank you for this nice presentation, Mr. Tuğser. Actually, I'm not a mechanical engineer or automotive engineer, so I will look at the problem as an industrial engineer. Right now, Turkey, I don't know what is the situation in Europe, but in Turkey, the infrastructure is not ready for high level of electric cars. By high level, I mean the percentage of people having the electrical vehicles. Like, is Toyota ready for or have any plans for technical service or charging stations, locations, or what are the plans for Turkey in terms of Toyota's plans?
Yeah, it's just let me also explain about my how do you say relation with those electrical vehicle future planning, because I am from the production engineering, which we are more working on the production facilities. But from my knowledge from Toyota, I mean from my personal experience in Europe, first of all, in Europe, infrastructure is not that much perfect. My personal experience. For example, one of my friends visited us here from Holland. He's like Holland, maybe only 300 kilometers. Within his car, we had to change around like 3 or 4 parking area to find a suitable charger. So even in Europe, it is not well, how do you say, well established a kind of infrastructure for the charging. And also in the highways, if you just stop next to a kind of like gasoline stand, you have to maybe spend even higher charger like 2 or 3 hours. I think there are 2 aspects. First, the technology wise, I mean the fasting or maybe speed charge should come. These are the responsibility of automotive manufacturers, but also the service providers and working together with Toyota. For example, if we have a kind of like electrical battery maker, there are also service providers for these charging stations. So that network has to be not only considered by the OEMs, the Toyota or Volkswagen or BMW, but also those companies based on the requirement or the sales of the car. There should be a kind of like calculation. What is the real demand? What will be the real demand? You may recognize as Toyota is a bit slower than, but coming maybe strongly with a long-term sustainable. So therefore, we are now in the Europe. We will be maybe heading later, like after 25 or 26. We will have those cars, and infrastructure is under discussion still.
That's good. In United States there are big trees, and they in some cases they do collaborations. So do automotive companies in Europe plan on those collaborations in terms of charging stations and maybe charging technologies?
Yes. So the charging technology and charging stations, as I said, the aim is the quick charge and to have accessible for everybody. Currently, there is an infrastructure, but I feel it is not enough yet. So it should be improved. And for each company or each OEM, not only European but also Asian OEMs is going to come to Europe with those electrical vehicles. Even though the vehicle is small or big, the charging will be necessary, and there should be infrastructure to be improved currently. Definitely.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tuğser. Okay, dear all, we have great emphasis to have this seminar in English. Of course, the Turkish questions are welcome. Türkçe sorularınızı da elbette ki alabiliriz. Öğrenci arkadaşlarımızdan özellikle bu imkanı değerlendirelim. Tuğser hocamızı yakalamışken. Okay, Mutlu Mustafa sorusunu kendi sormak ister belki. Do you have a microphone, Mutlu? Mutlu. Ömer yardımcı
Yes.
Okay, Mutlu. İngilizce sorabilirsin, İngilizce sorabilirsiniz.
In Toyota, do you aim to do the weight of?
Yeah, because the electrical cars are really heavy, as we mentioned. Is there any action taken to reduce the weight of the cars, electrical vehicles?
Sure. That's one of the key challenges of manufacturing companies. Total weight should be reduced. Of course, the performance of battery is one key point. With less weight, we have to run longer distance. But on the other hand, as production, we are focusing on how we can utilize more aluminum parts or more composite parts rather than conventional steel. Of course, not sacrificing the performance plus the safety of the vehicle. Yes, the answer is yes, of course, we are working on that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Aybar, İbrahim.
Yeah.
Mikrofonunuzu açtım. Okay.
Thank you. And I would like to give specific thanks to Tuğser Bey for his very valuable presentation, which we have highly benefited from. And I have two quick questions just for you, Tuğser Bey, to answer. The first one, first of all, I would like to congratulate Toyota brand for its leadership, global leadership of 2021 amid many difficulties in the market. You received your second consecutive leadership of the world, even if there were lots of shortages in semiconductor chips and many problems in supply chain. So first of all, I would like to congratulate. And secondly, all we know that Toyota is leading hybrid technology in the world. So far, I think nearly 20 million hybrid cars that you sold worldwide. And your president, Mr. Akio Toyoda, is defending heavily this technology against battery electric cars. And what we know that you extended your heavy investment on fuel cell technology to maintain your leadership in this era. So my question, would you believe that when battery electric cars are dominating the market, global market, would you keep up with your leadership again? Would you be ready to supply enough diversity of your products to keep up with this world leadership? This is the first question. And the second question, we know that the autonomous driving era is getting closer. And during this time, the new method of new type of car driving is increasing everywhere, which is just by definition car sharing. So we know that in Japan, you have your Toyota Share system. Would you think of launching this system in the Europe as well? Thank you for your answer.
Thank you, Ibrahim Bey. Regarding your first question, after EV vehicle introduction, most of the maybe OEMs are going to introduce their EV. Will Toyota be still the leader? So actually, today we are working for that. So we have a minimum 5 years from now on. Every day we are discussing about how the future will be like. This is our toughest question, because the future is designed by the customers, the future is designed by the governments, the future is designed by the technology we have. So we have the technology, we are going to use as much as we can with the minimum investment, with only the required one, of course. But as we can say that some governments are taking more proactive approach to this green energy and also EV vehicle utilization in their countries, such as Sweden. But some countries still have more flexible in some portion in city centers or outside. Therefore, Toyota, of course, has some backup plan to prepare all these, as you mentioned, like hybrid cars, plug-in hybrid cars, and also EV cars, such as also additional this hydrogen technology cars. But you know, all infrastructure, as we discussed with Nezir Bey, infrastructure is one point. For the hydrogen car, okay, it's completely maybe clean energy, but how we are going to make those all huge stations, and how they will be safe? So those kind of like questions we are actually working on for the future preparation. So answer is case by case, market by market. We are going to optimize our product portfolio. The second thing, the question is about the car sharing. Yes, we are, as mentioned, we are changing our sector from automotive to mobility company. Therefore, with the mobility, one of the main pillars are car sharing. In Europe, maybe you heard or not, I don't know. I just recommend you to investigate. There is already a group, a company we made, is called Kinto Europe. It's already in Italy. They started, I think, 2 years ago. You can make some car sharing through maybe ABC segment of vehicle car sharing. And it's going to be, I think, spread to Turkey soon. So I don't know the plan for how long it's going to take. But we have a very challenging and also demanding team in TME, Toyota Motor Europe. And last year they changed the organization, and it's very, very going fast. Most probably they are going to come soon to Turkey. Thank you very much, Ibrahim.
Okay, thank you very much for answers.
Thank you. Okay, if İlkay, if you have your microphone, you may ask your question by yourself, İlkay, or maybe you'd rather me to read your question. Okay, a question from İlkay. Let me read it. EV cars are more expensive and most of the people cannot afford it. So how can manufacturers solve this problem to reach a larger market?
Most of the manufacturers, I think, should consider about the leasing method. So leasing of the electrified cars, because there should be after some time, some kilometers, there should be some maintenance of the battery. Some OEMs already started to do in that method. Of course, like paying such kind of like huge money to a battery EV vehicle, it's very ridiculous, in especially like even in not only developing countries, but even maybe in Europe, Germany, maybe Belgium or France, it's a huge expensive compared to others. So there should be a kind of leasing technology. Of course, on the other hand, the key point is to reduce the total cost of battery electric vehicle, which also companies are working on. But the battery is the key cost element.
Thank you. And another question from Musayip Japarov. If you have the microphone, Musayip, you may ask for yourself. If not, I can read the question for you. Musayip?
Yes, I have.
Okay, go ahead.
So why there is no innovation in Toyota as Mercedes, Audi, or other brands? Like they produce reliable cars, but there is no innovation in interior.
Is that clear, Tuğser?
I thought that there is no innovation in Toyota cars in interior.
Interior. Like Mercedes, Audi, or this kind of brands.
Yes.
They produce reliable cars that if I buy a new Toyota, I can use it more than 10 years without any changing, except oil, some filters or wheels. But they don't.
Good.
There is no innovation in inner. That's
Yeah,
why.
it's actually so I'm a Toyota user also. Like we are driving Toyota. Sometimes you feel that okay, the German brand maybe have a better interior or fancy design of IP panel, maybe lots of good technology. You know, even I compare the technology 3 years ago in Volkswagen. I just see the technology now in Toyota, but. As you mentioned, like sustainability or maybe long-term usability point of view, some of the customers are happy with that. They don't take care, about the fancy interface, but to be more powerful engine, maybe with less consumption or maybe more durable underbody, that kind of like more cost-effective for the people pocket is, I think, the key point. For Toyota, and also for us, the customer loyalty is much more important. When we look at, I remember a kind of questionnaire. Main customers are the loyal customers in Toyota. I mean, we are not trying to find some new customers. Of course, we are trying to find with the new model, attractive models. I think which we achieved. I think with CHR. But for the loyal customers, we don't want to lose them with the performance of Toyota, the brand image of Toyota. But you are right with your impression. The same.
Okay, thank you. There's this another question from Yunus Ertürk. Okay, Yunus, if you would like to ask for yourself, we are with you.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you very much. It's good to see you, sir, because I am an old student from your lessons. And then I am turning on the Mr. Tuğser. So thank you very much for your presentation. It's very nice for me because my thesis is based on embedded system on electric vehicles and autonomous drives. So my department is electronic and communication engineering. So I want to ask to you, is that any opportunity for the studying for the in Toyota, because I am searching some information about the autonomous cars and self-driving system, etc. Can you give me an informations about these related areas? And then finally, I added you on LinkedIn. Please edit me on please edit my request. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. So I would like to, of course, help any from my country, any people from my country. So in Toyota, even my department, we are accepting intern students. So here in Europe, after I came, I recognized that they generally accept the people from the master course because we request them to stay in the office for 6 months minimum. So they cannot go to do a kind of like dual study with the university and the job. So they come a kind of full-time employee for 6 months. Therefore, in the universities, if you're a master's student, the department accept like 6 months period of intern in companies such as like Toyota, and we accept. And if you apply under that condition, I think you can find in Toyota Motor Europe homepage like our open internship. Even my department is taking now. Currently, we are looking for somebody. But one point, they are asking for visa. This is the critical point for the Turkish. Previously, because around like 2 or 3 years ago, they said that from Turkey there are also like some interns coming. But unfortunately, recently they are looking for the visa because it is really extremely difficult period for us to get that visa. working visa. So even myself personally, my visa extension has been waiting for 6 months. It didn't finish yet. So I have new members coming from Japan or Turkey. They cannot come due to this visa. This is the biggest firewall actually in front of us. I don't know how we can do.
Is that COVID-related problems?
It is COVID-related. It's additional one. It's COVID-related additional. The process is extended too much. But on the other hand, for the interns, they prefer to have some legal, like passport and working, how do we say, working acceptance from Europe. I mean, they request like that. They are not getting a kind of like sponsorship for taking the visa. So this is what they told to me.
For the graduates, it's a good news that they are having the interns, but the thing is they have to run for the working permission or by themselves, not asking for Toyota, I guess, right?
But on the other hand, if you just finish your university and if you just apply open positions, please do not hesitate. I mean, any engineer from well-known universities in Turkey can handle any job here, any job in Europe.
Okay, it's good news. Thank you.
Murat Hocam, bir anketimiz vardı isterseniz.
Okay, bir anketimiz var. We have a short inquiry. You may share, Ömer. While you are doing that, it will take like 10 seconds. There's this another question from Selçuk. Yes, the inquiry questions are started. Selçuk Hocam, sizdeyiz. Evet, okay.
Thank you. Thank you for your presentation. How would it be possible that the super lightweight, the low volume cars with plastic flexible body will be on the roads together with conventional type metal body cars? How do manufacturers consider this issue from the point of safety? When will it be possible? This is my question.
Yeah, thank you very much, Selçuk Bey. Actually, to be frank, we are focusing on more what we can do, how we can achieve a light vehicle, rather than thinking about currently the safety in my responsible area. But of course, in the total, customer point of view, we have to consider both different type of vehicles running on the same road, considering their accidents. Of course, individual cars should pass a kind of like NCAP type of safety criteria. So considering that, I think there should be some evaluation difference between those new type of vehicles, but definitely NCAP should be passed for vehicle and pedestrian safety. So currently, I don't think that they come up to that level, but we are more focusing on the material. What kind of materials? What kind of, because embedded technology? Because you have the drivetrain same, but you are going to change the metal structure, but not the whole one, because somewhere you have to connect that underbody, and there should be some joining technology. That joining technology will be strong or not. So under these different things. So how we are going to make that joining technology? Currently we are making well, but then we have composite, then we have aluminum, then we have metal. We have to combine all those three into one panel. So currently we are working on more those technologies rather than the whole safety. Sorry, I cannot maybe 100%. This is maybe half. I can explain my feeling, but the half my experience. So.
Yeah, I believe together with autonomous vehicles, as we see on the roads, probably such super lightweight vehicles will be on the roads in the same time, probably, I believe.
Yes. You are right. It should be.
Thank you very much.
Reduce efficiency. Yes.
Thank you. There's this another question from Sada Hassan. Would like to ask for yourself, Sada. If you have a microphone, Sada, go ahead, please.
Yes, thank you very much for this good presentation and amazing information. We know that there is a negative impact on the environment during the manufacture of batteries for the cars or processing of disposing of it after the end of economic life. This means that we must do a study for this impact of the battery on the environment and its relation for the volume production of cars. At any given size of cars, maybe we can reach to permissible level or high level of pollution. Has this studies done by the Toyota company about production before production these cars and investment about this area?
Thank you, Sada. So let me briefly explain first. Our target as Toyota is until 2050, we want to be carbon neutral. So which means that not only the vehicle itself, the production facilities and also tier 2 suppliers and main suppliers should also involve in this process. So, and also last year, Akio Toyoda mentioned that we are going to pull forward that from 2050 to 2030. So as a matter of fact, we have to change the way of doing our manufacturing our vehicle, starting with consuming the natural gas. And last 5 years, we started to transform our natural gas usage to electricity, and it is now increasing demand due to also this target pull forwarding. In future, also we have to consider, especially with the electrified vehicles, recycling of the vehicle will be a kind of standard job for the OEMs. It is under still concept they are discussing, but there will be some recycling facility inside the plant which receive the vehicle, making the vehicle change some portion and resell it again. So considering that technologies, we believe that we will achieve those 2030 target towards carbon neutral plant.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions? There is a question from Habib Jallo. He has no microphone, so I will read that. How does automotive industry works with the architectural sector? Especially with the new technologies. I couldn't get a sense of the question actually. Tuğser, otomotivle mimari, mobility olarak yakalayamadım ama bir şey çağrıştı.
For Toyota, actually, we have in Japan Toyota construction company. I mean, Toyota has a lot of like insurance, rental. Toyota is also instruction, but I think they are only utilizing the funding of Toyota. Currently, mobility and housing is not maybe 100% linked, but to be maybe in production, when we mention about light vehicles, because we are not going to use metal panels, maybe more light weight panels, that panels is also common with the housing, with the, for example, coating of a surrounding of a house or a building, is also common, maybe technology-wise. But the user-wise, I mean, it is very currently it's not easy for me to make a link.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any more questions or comments? We have many thanks from the chat boxes. I would like to express also those. If not, I would like to thank it to Tuğser, and it has been a privileged pleasure to have Tuğser, to have him in our Grad Talks. And I would like to thank him on my university, Yıldız Technical University's behalf. Thank you very much Tuğser. Çok teşekkürler ediyoruz.
You're welcome. Ben teşekkür ederim.
If not, so I would like to thank all the participants as well. And please follow, if you are missing the other grad workshops, you can also follow our YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe to Grad Talks. Thank you, and meet you next week at the same time for the next grad workshop. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Teşekkürler Tuğser, tekrar görüşmek üzere diyelim. İyi akşamlar, herkese iyi akşamlar katılımınız için. Teşekkürler.